Hey all, we're back with another Unmute Presents, and we are with Michael. Say hello, Michael.
Hello.
And say hello, Damashe.
Hello, Damashe.
And we're going to be talking about our tech bags, our go bags, what we travel with. So, Michael, why don't you kick it off?
Okay, so what I travel with is a very interesting question because I haven't really been someone who travels much. I will say this year, what I plan to be traveling with, what is that going to be? I should have given that some thought. So I am going to be traveling with the Vocaster for... Hold on one sec.
He says as he measures the Vocaster to see if it'll fit in the pocket that he wants to put it in.
But he's also saying, wait, am I going to actually have this computer when I actually travel?
Yeah. That's the gotcha. See, that's what I don't know about. No. So what I'll be traveling with for sure is this Logitech MX Keys keyboard. Pretty fond of it. I'll also have the Mac Mini this year, I think, and that'll go in my backpack. I need to check with the airlines to check about this battery to see if it's going to be better for me to ship it or to fly with it. And if I can't, then I'll just order on Amazon a battery. But a cool tool that I have in my bag, and I think Damashe's probably going to have one of these, is the power station from AT. Well, it's from Pluggables that AT sells. And that gives you 2 grounded US outlets and 3 USB ports on a rectangle box that is at the end of a 3-foot grounded cable that you can plug into the wall. And that's probably my favorite thing to travel with. I will also have the light detector that we carry because I am horrible about leaving lights on. And since I don't have light perception, that's kind of important. And I will have the Versus Slate because I feel like I'm doing an AT guys ad, but I'll have the Versus Slate because I take notes. And then my iPhone and a charging cable and maybe a power bank. I'm not certain about that yet. And then, of course, the clothes and the regular things. But that'll be my tech bag, I think.
So can we stipulate that everybody's taking their phone?
Yeah. I mean, that to me is a given. I am not taking an iPad, though. So everyone is taking their phone and their watch if they have one.
I don't know. I might leave mine in the house, man. Who cares?
Damashe, what's in your tech bag?
It's pointless. So here are a few things that I typically travel with regardless of the circumstances. A power bank, which for me recently has become the 20,000 milliamp accessible power bank from AT guys, but I've always carried some portable battery of some sort with me for charging up all of these other devices that I take. As Michael mentioned, I will also have the pluggable travel station that AT Guys sells. I found out about this from AT Guys, so I have been buying all of them that I can. That is a perfect device for me because it gives you one cable to plug in a hotel. I'm not hunting around for different outlets to plug in different power bricks. So I love that little device. Because that device is USB-A on the end, I also will have some USB-A to C adapters because most of my cables now are USB-C. So those are also in my bag. I will have a pair of in-ear monitor wired headphones that always live in my backpack. Like they never come out of my backpack unless I'm on the go and I'm using them there. Also traveling with me will be a USB microphone. The AT2005 is the one that I'm currently carrying right now because Marty has not convinced me to buy the Shure just yet. And then what else do I have? A Braille display is one thing that I try to keep with me. Folding Bluetooth keyboard is also in my bag. And let's see what else I have in here. Also have a portable tripod for the microphone. And then I have a portable stand for using my iPhone as a camera on the go, because if I have to do a video meeting or anything like that, I would prefer to use the good camera in my iPhone versus the so-so camera in my laptop. Also, I'll be traveling with a laptop. For me, it's a 13-inch MacBook Air M2 Midnight, which is the best color. So, just buy that one. And let's see, I believe that may be it for me outside of just the typical stuff you always have with you as far as like your phone, etc. Earbuds are going, of course.
For starters, I have this little, it's like a little tech pouch bag thing. It's made by Peak Designs. And I carry that around because I put all the things that I need in that little pouch, smaller items. And then that goes with me into whatever bag I happen to be taking at the moment. So if I'm going to switch up backpacks or whatever, all I have to do is grab that pouch and toss it into whichever bag and go for all the small items. So in that pouch, I have 2 battery banks. One is the smaller one of the 2 that's an accessible power bank from AT Guys. I have the same cable that has the box on the end from AT Guys that you plug into the wall, and it gives you, the grounded options at the end. That thing is a lifesaver. It works, in many precarious situations. So that's a great thing to have. I have always 2 USB-C to USB-C braided cables and 2 USB-C to Lightning braided cables. I always carry 2 of each because you just never know when something's going to fail. And that covers everything that needs to be, every cable to charge something. And of course, you have to carry a watch charger. So I have one of those. I also have an Anchor wall charger. The cool thing about the Anchor wall charger is on the front, it's got 1 USB-A, 2 USB-Cs. On the back, it's got a flip built-in wall plug. So all you have to do is flip the wall plug up and plug it into any wall, and that will charge up your devices. But the cool thing about it is it also has a battery inside of it. So you can just pull that out. All your devices are charged up, throw it in your bag. And if you got to charge something, you can use that to charge, any devices you need to charge, your smaller devices. What else is, what?
I said, that's handy.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of my favorite go bag items because it's just so convenient. So I throw that into my big backpack. And in the big backpack, I have a 16-inch MacBook Pro with the Pro Max processor. It's got a terabyte hard drive, 32 gigs of RAM, which I will say is great. It's probably the best laptop I've ever owned, but man, it's big and it's bulky. And I'm seriously thinking about trading that up for a 15-inch MacBook Air, just for the ease of travel. I also have an 11-inch iPad Pro, and I take with me the Sennheiser Profile microphone for podcasting on the go so that I don't need to carry around an interface and whatever else goes along with that. That's pretty much what I got in my go bag.
So that pouch that you keep your cables and your battery packs and all of that stuff, and that is actually a really good idea. I've been looking for one of these myself. I haven't found one that I was satisfied with, that I put my hands on. And I am a funny person when it comes to bags. I need a new backpack, but I won't buy just any backpack off the internet because I'm like, oh, this bag is great. Because you get it, you open it up, you start looking around and have the pockets you want. So I like to be able to look at these things before I purchase them, because sometimes it's a pain in the neck to send them back. But I do think it is a good idea to have a bag that has your, a set of travel cables and chargers or wall plugs or whatever, solution you choose to use to plug those cables into, because of what Marty said, right? Sometimes you're going on a weekend trip and you just take a little small, if I'm going somewhere for a weekend, I can grab my backpack and throw a couple of changes of clothes in it and I'm good to go. If I'm going to Houston for a week, I need a whole suitcase, which is another thing to talk about. I need a whole new suitcase, which means that there's probably, if I wasn't careful, there's things that you would leave in your backpack that wouldn't get transferred to the suitcase, and you wouldn't realize it until you got there. Whereas Marty's method of using that pouch means he just grabs the pouch and throws it in whatever bag he's taking. He knows he has all of the things he needs. It's not going to arrive and be like, oh crap, I forgot all of my USB-C to A adapters. So now what do I do?
Right. It definitely is very handy. I really like it a lot. It took me a while to pick one, but this is the one I landed on. Just the layout of the pouch is really cool. It's you zip it it goes top down zipper. So it zips from one side across the top and then down. It opens up pretty good if you want it to, but you can still reach into it if you don't unzip it all the way, which sometimes is kind of convenient. But when you unzip it and you open it up on the outside, completely on the outside, you've got one outside pouch, which is about the size of one side of the pouch. And that side also has a handle that you can carry it with, which is good because sometimes, you got to pull it out and you got to hold on to it. So it's got an easy way to carry it that way. And then on the inside, when you unzip it, you've got two sort of large pouches on both sides that you can just put whatever you want. And on the walls of those sides, you also have some netted pouches to put smaller things in. And then in the middle, you've got two pouches, which both conveniently hold pretty much anything, but they're perfect for where I put the battery banks and a cable in. Actually, it's two cables in each one of those slots, because when I go for reaching for the battery bank, I want to be able to pull out whichever cable I need right away. So the two center pockets is where the battery banks sit with, a USB-C cable. That's a USB-C to USB-C and a USB-C to Lightning. They both fit the battery bank and both of those cables really neatly right into those center pouches. So I really like it a lot for that. And it's got plenty of room for the rest of the things that got to go in there. So you zip it up and toss it in whatever bag you're taking and you go.
You said something about going and trading in your laptop for the 15-inch. Is 1 inch really going to make a big difference in that travel?
It's not really about the screen size. It's about how thick and big and heavy the 16 inches compared to the MacBook Air, really. I believe that the 16-inch weighs like 5 to 6 pounds, something like that, maybe even a little more. And the 15-inch MacBook Air, they say it weighs like 3 pounds, and it's super
probably
thin.
around about 3 pounds, because my MacBook Air 13 inches, a little over 2 pounds, and just adding that little bit more screen real estate for the 15 should keep it around about 3 pounds. It's a good consideration to have, especially if you travel a lot, or you are in a position to where you have multiple computers, one for traveling and one for that's just always on as a desktop, is getting a lightweight laptop. Like I've been more satisfied with a MacBook Air than I ever thought I would be, partially due to Apple Silicon. But Marty, you also have a desktop at home, so you're looking for something that is going to lighten the load as you're moving about. Sounds like.
Definitely. When I'm home, I've got, the bigger computer studio setup at home. So that's what I mainly use. And that's what's got, the interface and my boom arm with microphone and all that stuff. So I don't, need to make sure that my laptop is my only computer that's going to be the be all end all. So I can sacrifice some power for weight in that situation.
Well, I'm looking at this tech pouch right now on Peak Design's website. I might have to get this thing right here. Oh, wait. Oh, they got a midnight. It'll match my computer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. It's not how well it works, it's how good it looks and matches your
exactly.
Something I forgot to mention that I'm traveling with is AirTags. And I gave you a hack for that, Damashe, the other day. You want to share that with people?
No, because I don't remember what it was.
Oh, okay. So my hack was leave your AirTag in your back or in your suitcase or your backpack, and then when you get to the hotel, you don't have to look for the Braille room.
Yeah, I would love to share that hack that you told me about the other day, Michael. No, in all seriousness, and I didn't think about AirTags. Mine just arrived here today, so I haven't even opened them up and set up anything at all. But I bought some with the intent of probably going to put a bag under the plane, in the storage. So that was one thing I was thinking about. Michael's tip, though, was leave your AirTag in the bag once you arrive at your room, which I don't necessarily think I would have thought to take it out anyway, because what am I going to do with it? Just leave it where it is so I don't leave it. But Michael was like, you can also use that to find your way back to your room if, you're in one of those situations where the hotel isn't exactly laid out the way you want, or there's a bunch of doors and there's no Braille, because I've been in hotels where there's no Braille on the doors. or you don't know where the sign is until the week. You get there on Monday and you find out, oh, there was Braille above the door, which you find that out Thursday when you're checking out. So Michael's tip was use your Find My to track your AirTag to locate your room.
Yeah, you get a keychain kind of thing so you can hang it on the doorknob. And when you get off the elevator, you can make it beep and you just follow the beep to your door and you're good.
That's also an option. Whoa, this thing is $60. Stock is limited.
There's different colors, so you may need to maybe one color they may have more of. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll click on another one and see. But yeah, this is one of those things, and I think is worth discussing here too. That we've all mentioned, some random things that most people would probably need in their bag, especially if you're going away for any significant amount of time. Just having power for your devices. So definitely having a power bank of some sort. It may have sounded like we were trying to do an AT guys ad on the slide here, but we were not. It's just that a lot of what I use happens to be stuff that AT guys carries. But something like the portable charging station is an amazing piece of kit just because of the flexibility. Again, if you are in a scenario where there's only one outlet that you can reach, moving hotel furniture is not fun. I will say that. Trying to find outlets is not fun at all. So that solution, Marty's Anchor battery pack combo wall plug, again, a multiple use device that if Marty didn't have his accessible power bank, that Anchor thing would work as a battery pack for him on the go. He gets back to the hotel, plugs up, he can still charge up things and be charging up that battery. So again, having a multiple use device that makes your travel a little bit easier is less stuff to keep up with. Marty does the same as me with at least 2 cables of the same type, because you never know when something's going to break. So I tend to have a couple of lightning cables, probably one of these multi cables that has like USB-A on one end and then lightning and what's the other micro USB and USB-C on the other end. I usually have at least one of those in my bag. And then I have been carrying I tend to buy the Thunderbolt 4 cables from OWC or Anchor because they're USB-C on both ends, and I'm guaranteed, regardless of what I'm using it for, it's going to do what I need it to do. So if I plug it in as a charging cable, it'll charge as fast as the device will support. But if I'm plugging in a Thunderbolt hard drive, well, it'll give me Thunderbolt speeds for that too.
That power bank, one great thing about it, which seems like not a big deal, but it actually is a big deal, is the plug that it has on the back of it. It flips up and flips down in the way that a MacBook or a MacBook Pro, power adapter would be on those. It's the same design where the power plug could flip down into it and just kind of tuck neatly into it. And when you need to use it, it just flips up. The great thing is you don't have to go find a cable for your power bank. You just pull it out and it's ready to get plugged right into the wall. And one less thing you need to go find, one less cable you need to go find is awesome. You pull it out, you just plug it in the wall, plug in your devices, and in the morning when you unplug it, all your devices are all charged up and the battery bank is all charged up, and you just put it back in your bag and you're off, So it's really convenient in that sense.
Now, one thing nobody has mentioned is it doesn't seem like any of us are carrying any wireless chargers of any sort.
I do for my watch. That's what I said. I had a watch charger. That's the one oddball thing I got to carry.
Yeah, but that's kind of required though. Like there's not another option for the watch. You have to carry a watch charger because it's the only way you can charge your watch.
But you can also charge. I have an 8, the large size 8, whatever that is. That what they call it? An Apple Watch 8, the large one. Is that what they call it?
45 millimeter, I think, is what it is for the Series 8, the big one.
Right. So that will also charge my AirPods Pro 2s.
Yep, that also works, which is useful. But I just noted that like no one's carrying like the Anchor wireless charger, or whoever's wireless charger, or Apple's MagSafe. Like nobody mentioned any of those things, and it just kind of struck me because I was thinking as you were talking about the watch charger and having to carry that separately. Like, I've been really wanting to look at one of these cubes, I think Anchor makes this cube that is just a little block that you pull out the pieces for, like, you fold out pieces to put your phone on for wireless charging. And one reason I haven't bought it is because, well, it's $150, and when am I really going to use it? But secondarily, I'm not sure that wireless charging is as effective for me as just plugging in a cable. Like, I can plug in a cable now and get my phone from 10% to 40% in 5 or 10 minutes. 5, 10, no, definitely no longer than 15 minutes. I'm back at a decent battery level where I feel comfortable walking out and doing what needs to be done and still getting back with battery. Whereas wireless charging, to me, for me at least, that has always been I'm static here for a number of hours. So I have time to let the phone or AirPods or watch or whatever slowly charge, up over this number of hours that I'm going to be sitting here. Like, there's a wireless charger on my desk that I use all the time. I'm not traveling with it though, because it's pointless.
Yeah, well, I don't use those for the reason you just said, is I'm moving around a lot typically. And so by having a cable and a battery bank in my backpack, I can just plug my phone in and it can be charging while I'm on the move to wherever the next places I'm going. And if that takes, 15, 20 minutes to get from one place to another, I got a significant amount of battery juice in that time while I'm traveling, and I don't have to worry about it being on a magnet type thing that's not going to fall off, or I got to hold it in my hand real careful or anything like that. I can just plug it in and toss it in my bag and go. I don't have to worry about a magnet and all that stuff.
Yeah, I did it on a bus trip coming back because my phone was, low battery, and I charged up while just on the way back on the bus. I did use probably one of the most expensive power banks you'll ever use to charge my phone on that Greyhound trip, but it worked. I plugged the phone into my MacBook Air to charge it because just didn't have my power bank with me. See, here's where Marty's bag. Okay, let me put this bag in a cart or something, because this is where this bag would come in handy. If I keep all of that stuff in that bag, see, I wouldn't have left my power bank. I wouldn't have to use my laptop as a power bank.
It's easy to move one thing wherever you need it than 10 things, Everything you need is in that little bag, and then you put that bag in whatever thing you're taking with you, and that's it. You have everything you need.
What kind of material is this bag? Did I tell you here?
It's the same kind of material on the outside as like a backpack, a rugged backpack. It's like a not totally smooth kind of, I don't know, like a nylon kind of material.
I gotta go find the Gucci one day, and I need some leather. Well, we've given what I think are some good. I've gotten a couple of tips. I think we've shared some good tips here. Sounds like we're generally carrying the same type of stuff with us, which, funnily enough, it all seems to revolve around charging
and cables and charging.
The one thing I thought about throwing in my bag an extra, because you mentioned it, Damashe, is this wireless charger I got, because it would just slip right in there. And I mean, I do use it here at home, so why not?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't use it in a hotel, and I would be more apt to leave it by mistake. And then I would be very sad when I got home and I couldn't just plop my phone on it like I just did a few minutes ago.
Yep. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for joining us and listening to what we carry around in our tech go bags. And some of this stuff you can get at AT Guys. So contact AT Guys if you're interested in any of the stuff we talked about. And Michael, thanks for being with us today. And Damashe, thanks for being with us today. And we'll see you guys next time.